Well, hi there. Hi there. AM here once again. And today we're going to talk about my favorite prehistoric wildlife from Africa. Like, man, it's been like weeks now since the last time I done an episode of this. Which means it's finally a series. Yeah! Woohoo! Yeah. So, let's get started. So, during those 2 centuries, ever since paleontology, and that's study as a whole came about 2 centuries ago. Over 2 centuries ago. Most of the attention has been going on in Europe, North America. That was until very recently with they moved down south in South America, Australia, and also Antarctica and Africa. Everyone's seen my video on how Spinosaurus was first discovered. So that's one to start off with. No, it wasn't the only one. It wasn't the only predatory dinosaur environment during the mid-Cretaceous. And the northern part of Africa was known as Sahara Desert. Others, like Rugops, Bahariasaurus, and also Carcharodontosaurus, and Deltadromeus. And much earlier to the mid-Jurassic, it was known as air. There is Afrovenator. Probably very similar in size to Australovenator from Australia. And oh man, is there not a single video I've made either that I haven't where I'm not referring to Spinosaurus at all? Like first there's Megalodon, now Spinosaurus. And also there is Massasaurus from 40 to 35 million years ago, and it's much smaller, 10 to 15 foot cousin that would often prey on, or at least it's depicted preying on, Aldorodon. And Arsinoitherium, that giant hippo-like thing actually more closely related to elephants, very as well as mirror theory. And further down south, in the Horn of Africa, as seen in Walking with Bees, writes the Australopithecus, who was, and that's where we humans first got our start 6 million years ago, regardless of what regardless of how you look. And also, the extremely weird 10 to 15 million years ago, so 10 million years before the first, was considered the first actual species of humans evolved. There was platy, extremely bizarre looking platymelodon with its big shovel-like mouth, where it's like, and the almost equally weird looking as seen walking with bees, Dinotherium, where it has tusk on the what we consider the locate on the chin instead of like this, which is believed to be used for digging roots. And also 155 to 145 million years ago, there was, in Tanzania, there was giraffe. It was ruled by creatures like Giraffatitan, Ceratosaurus, and Kentrosaurus. And there's also, up in North Africa, the linears and Spiceworks environment like Paralotitan, and also the Iguanodon Tyrannosaurus. And Egyptosaurus. That would be around 50 feet long, so sort of being that Spiceworks and that thing were really about the same size, which really seems a little below normal size for a sauropod dinosaur. And a Tyrannosaurus around 26 feet long and 7 to 8 feet tall. And Paralotitan from the stores I had around 100, maybe 95 feet long. And there's also that giant 40-foot long crocodile named Circusus. And I've actually, when I was in the Natural History Museum of Paris one time, and I actually saw a replica of the skeleton of that thing, discovered by Paul Sereno from who works in the Natural History Museum of Chicago, Illinois. And he's there back in the late 90s. Around the same time, he even found Suchomimus, Spiceworks' cousin from 130 to 115 million years ago, while Spiceworks lived between 110 and 93 million years ago. And also, as I explained in my Obsession Dinosaurs video, how I showed from that National Geographic magazine, was how Spiceworks has been reconstructed ever since, and how many people in the paleontological community felt outraged, though it could occasionally walk on two legs, like it does on the cover, like to get a better view of its surroundings, scare off other predators, as well as one. And that would be really about it. They'll probably could run super fast. Have to walk on. And also, as sea levels rose, and they end up being much higher than they already were at that point, which is what, which is the reason why, was believed to be the reason why spinosaurs went extinct in the first place, and then it was replaced by the South Ocean, became part of the Tethys Sea, along with Europe around 100 million years. That was the northern part receded away 65 million years ago, just as the dinosaurs went extinct. And of course, like say, and it was still teeming with sharks, ammonites, plesiosaurs, and mosasaurs. Like mosasaurs being the largest, around 60 feet long. And as I showed in the other video, the top 10 extremely scary prehistoric, extremely scary animals you're glad are extinct. Which last week just turned 3 months old last week. How I showed and further down south in Africa, there was, of course, the Karoo Basin, where 250 million years ago, 270 to 250 million years ago, at the end of the Permian, it was ruled by Gorgonopsids, though I forgot which species of them they were, which I'm also, and also Dihypnodons, and all that kind of stuff. Since all the probably not too different than most the other places on the earth at that point, since it was all combined one huge landmass called Pangea, which then 50 million years later would break up the end of the Triassic. And also, speaking of which, there's fossils there from the Jurassic to where 8 million years ago, the same age as fossils found in Dorset and Boltzmann. And even as I discovered in a documentary from 12 years ago, back in 2005, the same year YouTube was created. Man, what a busy year it was. It was busy times indeed. Yeah, where there were fossils of creatures that lived during the Eocene Lake, probably being Dickinsonia, Parvincorina, Kimberella. Well, maybe that would be from Australia. Springina. And also what's considered to be the ancestor of most corn age, which includes us. Those little things. Yeah, like little tube-like things. Yeah. And there's Madagascar. Of course, like for instance, creatures there back 70 to 65 million years ago. Like, say, for instance, Majungasaurus, that would be around 33 feet long, which is shown from fossil evidence back a decade ago of it to be a cow. It used to be much harsher back then. There's also Raha neighbors, that little bird-like guy, which was shown and seen in Dinosaur Revolution back 6 years ago. Man, all these sources I'm getting from, like, man, those things are old. Where it was shown flying around like flapping, when most of the other birds at the time would fly, which was a major step in the evolution of birds on a sauropod. Yeah. And there's that giant frog called Belzebub. At one point, when I was at this museum, I even saw a fossil of this giant ammonite, like about this big, from that island, actually. Yeah. Well, that's probably all I can explain. As usual, if you like this video, please give a like on it and subscribe to me to watch my videos every weekend. As usual, thanks for watching. And as always,